couple more. All right, good. All right, my name's Sean. Today we're going to go over the basic overview of the new mockup feature in the TRW 3.14. So we only have 45 minutes, so we're going to move pretty quickly. But again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We got Rudy answering questions as well, so we should be able to handle all of them for you. All right. So we're going to be working in the Corel X7 in the 3.14. This is the newest release, but it's pretty much going to be the same if you're already working in 3.12. All right. So we're going to be mostly focusing on basic. Can everyone see my screen okay? All right. All right, so we got the basic feature. You'll see this drop down. You'll see the quick design, and it goes all the way through the custom. Today we're going to focus more about the quick designs and the proof. We're not going to worry too much about the customs. That's going to be a little more advanced, but if you guys have any questions or concerns about that, feel free to give us a call, and our support can walk you through that as well. Okay. So first one, we're just going to do a quick design. I have a couple designs to work with first. We're just going to use a vector design, just something simple. All right, so you can just size the design to whatever size you're wanting on the shirt or the mock-up. And when you see this under quick design, the first is going to say template placeholder, and when you drop this down, it's only going to give you a design. So this one's pretty simple. It's not going to allow you to choose anything else. So what we're going to do is once we have our design ready, we're going to go ahead and highlight over it, click Save Design, and go ahead and create mockup. All right, so you can see it has the watermark, and it's just a pretty basic mockup that you can send over to your customer. All right, now down here you'll see the TRW and a little pencil mark. This is for the detail of the watermark and the other information that's going to go on your mockup. So we're going to go walk through this as well real quick. As you can see, we already have some preloaded down here. For our sake, we've done a couple webinars, so they're kind of all are the same for us. But this is where you're going to type in all your, some magic bling going to be added. I'll double check with that, Shelby. She was asking if the magic bling is going to be added to this one. I'll double check. If you want to send us an email, we'll respond that way, and I'll have the answer for you. All right. So first part of your description is just going to be for your business. It's just going to be a quick reference to what watermark and description you're using. For our sake, we're just going to do TRW. And then, all right, it looks like Matt was on Periscope earlier and said it will be coming back. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the 3.14. But yeah, it should be coming back. I'll double check with Matt and see if he has an idea of when it's going to come out. So next is the watermark text. If you look on the design that I already have, you'll see the watermark text that we already have. It's just the rhinestoneworld.com. Now again, this can be just simple. It can be the whole website name. It can be just your company name, whatever you like best. For this one, we're just going to use TRW as well. And then transparency is how much it's going to show up on your watermark. Can you change the font on the watermark? Right now, the watermark font is pretty much going to be the same. You're not going to be able to edit that at all, but I will check into that, and that's a good suggestion for the future. All right, so transparency, we usually keep it at 90. If anyone was familiar with the 2.14, the transparency was already set at 90. So that's just, you can see how 90 works with this. It's a little light. You can still see it. If you want it so you can't see it, you'll go higher. So you can go up to 100 or even higher than that. And if you want it really bold and sticking out, you can go to a lower number like 50 or 60. Okay. So for our sake, we're just going to keep it at 90. And then the next one is the logo path. So this is going to show your company logo. You're just going to have it saved as a JPEG or a PNG. And you're going to see this little folder next to it. If you click that, it's just going to pull up your file. So if you know where your image is, you can just scroll down to it. So I'm going to grab TRW logo. All right, so moving on, the next is the business name. So we're just going to type out business name. All right, and next is the web. So this is going to be the website. So again, it's just going to be the rhinestoneworld.com. And then you're going to have your business information. You're just going to have your phone, email, street address, city, state, and zip. So if you guys don't want to include any of this, you don't have to. But you know, when you're sending it to your customers, it's definitely going to help, and it's going to boost your business because they're going to know who to contact. All right, so I'm just going to fill this out. So if anyone has any questions for us, this is our personal number. So we'll be able to, you can contact us. This is the actual Rhinestone World's number. All right, so email is going to be info@the-Rhinestone World. So if you want to email us any questions, that's where you'll send it to. Street address. All right. So once you have everything typed out, the next thing you want to make sure you do is click this add button. If you don't click add and you just click save, when you go to find this in your watermark or your mockups, it's not going to be there. So the first thing you have to do is make sure you click add, and then you'll see TRW pop in at the bottom, and then click save. Hey Jennifer, I'm not sure the exact reason it just stopped working. If you want to either give us a call, we can log in onto your computer with TeamViewer, and we can probably diagnose the problem that way. But again, it might just be a simple step, so if we follow along, it just might be something that you're forgetting, but if not, just give us a call, and our staff will be able to fix that for you, okay? All right, so moving on. I'm going to go back up to our mockup feature. Just going to go, and whenever you create a mockup, you'll see down here that it opens another page for you. So if you don't like the mockup, or if you just want to get rid of it, you can always delete it, and it'll pretty much bring you back to where you started. So now down here, you can see that we have the new TRW. So if we want to use that, we're just going to click that, and then we'll go ahead and start our next mockup. All right, so does anyone have any questions about anything we've done so far? All right, sounds good. So the next one, we'll do a quick product. So on this one, you'll see that it gives us two drop downs, gives us the product or the design. We're going to choose product first and just go through the next steps. So you're just going to follow these down. So we're going to pick the type of shirt. Since it's a basketball vector, let's go ahead and do men's. And you'll see the t-shirt selection next. You have a regular long sleeve or hooded. Let's do it on a long sleeve. You'll even see the shirt pop up here. And then the product options. You either have the front or back. So we're going to stick with the front. Once we have everything that we like, we're going to go ahead and click Save Product. Okay. And that's the big step now. Before, it's just you're choosing everything and you just click Mockup. With the the new 3.0, you're going to actually have to save your product before you make a mockup. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is go to our template placeholder and choose our design. We're going to go ahead and select our design and save design. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and create the mockup. So you can see it's just a quick mockup on a shirt. Once you get to this part, everything in here can be edited. So if you don't like the shirt color, you can choose any color on the side. You can choose any color on the side palette with the TRW palette. Any color is going to go ahead and work for you. So let's just go ahead and switch to black. Maybe choose the blue, white, and change the red to orange, darker orange. So then you have your design. And again, if you don't like the placement, if you wanted it more as a pocket, you can resize the design, put it wherever you like on the shirt, and then you have your mock-up ready. Alright, and then one other quick little trick with the mock-ups, if you, say with the black, we chose a black shirt, if we want to see some detail in the shirt, if you right-click a lighter color such as white, you'll see the detail in the shirt come up a little too. And you can choose different colors and it will have a different effect, but usually if you choose like a darker color such as black and you do it with the white, that tends to have a really nice look. Does anyone have any questions about the quick product mock-up? All right, we'll keep moving. So again, we have our mock-up down here. I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and then we're just stuck with our regular design. All right. So next, let's bring this design in here. Change this real quick so we can see the stones. Yeah, so once you're done with that, you can export your mock-up. You know, if you want to send that to the customer, or if it's just for you, you can just save it as a PNG, and then that's you can send that to whoever you'd like. All right. So let's move on down to the quick mock-up. So you'll see the difference. It's going to give you a little kind of description about how the design is going to look, but you know, for the most part, it's going to follow the same pattern. This is just a quick mock-up, so everything's going to be set. You're not going to put it on like a product or anything like that, so it's just going to have the design as an option. Okay? And if we go to Advanced, you'll see that the only difference in this is it asks you if you want to change the background color, design description, or background color. I know it has it twice, but they are different. So again, this is just the basic, but everything from when we create the basic, we can go ahead and change everything once it's created. So don't worry too much about the advanced if it's, you know, doesn't make sense to you. Everything we do in the basic, you can do in the advanced, and I'll show you how. All right. So once we have our color selection, we're going to go ahead and make these white or crystal, and go ahead and change this font. So again, the only option here is design. So once we save our design, you can go ahead and, if you'd like, you can create, you can add a watermark and simulate stones as well. You just have to check these down here. Okay. So you'll see that it threw our website in there, it threw our logo in. Now, everything in our watermark is on top as well, so you can see this one's just going to say TRW because we didn't add the rhinestone. So if we go through here, you'll see that the watermark text is TRW, so that's all you're going to see through here. The transparency is 90, so that's what a transparency at 90 is going to look like on a black background. And then you have all your other information as well. All right, and now I'm going to open up the same one in Advanced. Now you're going to see that it's going to give you these three different choices too. Besides design, it's just design background color, design description, and background color. Watermark is showing up. Hey Lynn, all right, so make sure you're clicking watermark and simulate stones at the bottom. Usually it doesn't always have it check marked, so the logo should always be check marked, but the watermark isn't. So if you're not getting your watermark to show up, just make sure that it's checked down there. So again, once we're in the advanced, you're going to see these three different options. Now all that is the background color here, the black background here, and the description here. So everything that you can do in advance, you can actually. All right, Linda's still having trouble with the watermark. It was checked, but still not working. And it's a little tricky just not being able to see exactly what you're doing. If you want to call us, though, we can definitely hop on and see if there's just, you know, it could be just something small that's not working. But And do you know what, Linda, do you know what version of the 3.0 you're working with? 3.0, okay. Yeah, that's definitely a little weird, but just give us a call and we'll definitely hop on there real quick and we can check it out and see if there's anything that we can fix. All right, awesome. So again, you can change the name in here. I kind of personally like doing this method better than choosing it all before. This way you can kind of see how the design looks and see what the best layout for your design is. So again, once you get in here, you can change everything to whatever looks the best. So you can even change the font. If you don't like the color of the stones, you can even change that. You're just going to have to select all the same color, and we can add different color stones. So again, everything, once it's created, can be edited in the mock-up screen. Does anyone have any questions so far? No? All right. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, so I'm just going to right-click and delete my page to get rid of that mock-up we just created. Okay. So this is going to be a mock-up for a single product. So it's going to pretty much let you put it on a shirt, and it's going to display your design too. And if you like, this is another one where any mock-up, you're going to be able to display your logo and all your information. So this is where it's important. If you don't fill this out, you'll see that it doesn't really, it will still work, but it's going to leave you with spaces. And I'll show you, I'll do a mock-up without one of our preloaded descriptions, and I'll show you how it's going to look. Okay. So I'll bring this rhinestone one in. We're going to do a basic. Again, advanced is just letting you change a lot of different background colors and the design. But again, everything in basic we can do afterwards, and it'll be the same settings as advanced. So just focus on basic now, and then once it's created, you can go back and change anything that you'd like. So first we're going to pick our product, and again, this works the same with any new mock-up feature. You can always pick your product first, save it, and then we're going to save the design. All right, looks like we're having some problems with the advance, putting the watermark. Linda, is that when you were placing the watermark, were you doing an advanced one too, or do you know if it was a basic? Advanced, okay. Let me write this down real quick. There might be an issue with advanced, but again, if it's working in basic right now, just create a basic one, and then we can go back and change anything afterwards. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and choose our product. So with the rhinestone, let's do a woman's, and go ahead and do a V-neck shirt. And again, you'll see the product to the right, and we're going to do it front. So once we have everything selected, we're going to go ahead and save. And then we're going to highlight our design. And from here, you're going to want to choose your colors first. You can change them once you're in there, but I always recommend just choosing the colors first. So we'll change this to black. Actually, we'll change this to crystal, and this to a darker orange. Okay. Highlight our design. Choose design in the drop-down. Okay, so it looks like there might be just a problem on advanced. Linda went back and did it on a basic, and it's showing up now. So I'll let them know but for the meantime, the basics should work for you guys, and then you can go ahead and edit everything afterwards. And thank you, Linda, for checking that. So we're going to save the design, and again, I'm going to use a description that we haven't chose yet. So I can check logo, but it's most likely going to let me know that there's not a logo chosen, so it's not going to really add one for me. So I'm going to go ahead and create mockup. And this will usually come up. It'll say no logo found. Please check file path. So if you see this and you've added a logo, most likely you just didn't choose your correct description. But if you don't, you can still push OK, and it's still going to render the mockup for you. So you'll see, without preloading everything, it will still give you information here, and you can always edit this. So and then if you want, you can even, type in your website, your email, and your phone number. But again, it's just going to make your process. Jennifer asking, we do that with the watermark check so we can see what is supposed to happen with the watermark. Yeah, no problem. I'll go back and do that real quick. But it's not going to do, if I did it with this one, it's not going to do anything because I didn't have my description checked. So I'd have to make sure that I have a preloaded one that has a watermark. Okay. Right now it's not showing one just because there wasn't a watermark in my description. But again, everything can be edited in here. If you don't like the gray, you can make it darker. And then with the shirts, we can edit this so you can see a little better. If you right click on a lighter stone, it'll change the shirt and give you a little more detail in it. And again, if anything in here can be changed, usually your logo would be set right here, but since we didn't have one, it's not going to preload anything. Okay. So I'm going to go back real quick, and I'm going to do the same design. But this time, I'm going to choose our TRW description, choose watermark, and go ahead and create. All right. So you'll see the difference. It's only going to put the watermark on your actual design on the shirt. It's not going to put anything on top of it. All right. Linda asks, how do you get the descript to come up? Right. Are you asking how to get right here when it comes up and just type? I can retype it. Is that what you're asking, Linda? All right, I'm going to go back real quick. Okay, so she was asking about where to get the description. So the description can be right here if you want, but usually it's just a little easier to change it at the end because every design is not going to be the same. So if you want, you can type it in here where it says type your description. So before you make everything, you can title it here and create it, and it'll add it for you. Or if you just create it without writing a description, it will. You can retype it after, if that makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to do the mock-up single product again. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'll go back. So yeah, let's go ahead, since we're having a problem with advanced, I'm going to just see if the watermark is working on my end with advanced and see if that's the problem. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with our product. We're just going to choose women's, do a V-neck, front, save. And then we'll do the design. Save design. And now I do have my watermark logo and simulate stones selected. So if I go to create mockup, okay, and it says no logo found because I didn't pick a description, so it's not going to put the watermark there. So let me go back one step, choose TRW. Yeah, so it looks like it's not on my end too. With the advanced, it's not adding the watermark either, so I'll definitely run that by them and let them know. So thank you, Linda, for pointing that out. But again, it will add everything for you, and here's your enter description here, so you can always edit that in here. And if you don't like the way, it's not going to put the watermark on the shirt, but it will put it on the actual design. And again, with this text, you know, it's just a simple text, but if you don't like any of the fonts, you can always change that up here. So if you want something bolder, you can always change the fonts. Pretty much everything on this page can be edited. You know, if you don't want the website, or you just want the email, or you just want the phone number, you can delete, you know, anything you don't want. You can even delete the background so it's a little, you know, blends in a little differently. So everything on this page can be deleted, including the logo, even the background of that. So, you know, you can definitely change around how your mock-up looks. You can change the background colors, anything like that. All right. So do we have any questions from anything we've covered so far? All right, keep moving on then. All right, so the next one is going to be the proof sheet for one shirt. Now this is something that you can send to your customers, pretty much almost as a contract for them. Just makes it a little easier so you have stuff in writing. You know, if there's any changes that need to be made, that can be documented on this page. Again, it's going to be pretty much the same setup. We're going to do basic. But again, if you want any of those background changes that you can do in advance, we're just going to do them at the end. So let's go ahead, we'll go back to our vector. So we'll do let's do a youth shirt this time. Boys youth. Again, it's just going to be the front or back. We're going to choose front. And then go ahead and save the product. And then we're going to choose our design. Save our design. We have our TRW description selected. So we're going to go ahead and create the mockup. Oh, that's not right. Other questions there? An option to add a watermark to the shirt. I keep the no, there's not like a, Jennifer asked if there's like a watermark button where you could just add the watermark to something, you know, just like a shirt or something like that. Right now the 3 doesn't have that. You'll just have to add it through here. But yeah, once everything's done with the new 3.0, that should be another feature that's added. But for now, you'll just have to add it to the design. Let's go to our product. Let's try min. Why it's giving us this error? Go ahead and save the product. minus method average. Looks like I'm having error on mine. Let's try the order form. Yeah, I did try to select it. I think when I chose it's giving me an error when I'm choosing the template, so it might just be something with that. Let's go ahead and try the order form real quick. So we're going to do shirt front, do a men's sleeve, front, save. Design front. Same thing. Sorry about this, guys. Not sure why it's giving me these errors. Alright, so let's just go back, mock up, make sure everything's working right. So I'm going to do our product, men's sleeve, save product, and then go ahead and choose our design, save design. Now none of them are working. Alright. Not sure why. I got an error. Now all these are not working correctly. Let's try this one more time. Alright, so that one seemed to be working. So let's go ahead and try to move on and try out our proof sheet 1 now. So we're going to select a vector design. And once we have this selected, we're going to go ahead and choose our product. Yeah, Linda, there is a way to do the info to reference price, quantity, and shirt color. Once we get into the more detailed ones, you'll be able to see that. I'm just going to switch some colors around real quick, and we'll go ahead and make a mock-up where you'll see that you can have more info. Okay. So this. So it looks like it copied over itself real quick. So bring this over. Go ahead and select our product. We're going to do a men's long sleeve in the front. Go ahead and save that. Our design, select it, save it, and then go ahead and create the mock-up. Okay, so might be because we have the simulate stones on that it's throwing this off. So let's try it without that. And there we go. Alright, so that's what's throwing us off. So if you're working with the vector design, make sure you uncheck the simulate stones or it can affect your design. So again, you'll see at the top This is kind of what Linda was asking, if you can do a quote, a quantity discount, design name, and again, all this can be edited. So you can either write in here or you can print this out and go ahead and just, write this out yourself, or you can type it on the computer to make it a little nicer. But again, everything in here can be changed. If you don't like a certain part, you can delete it. This is more for the customer, turnaround time. All this can be edited. So if you work with, if you want it down to 2 or 3 days, you can change that. This is more for your customer, your name, address, and this is them signing that they like everything, how it's set up. And, it's almost like a binding contract between you and your customer. Again, here's an additional note. So if anything they need changed, they can write this in here. They'll be able to select where they want the design. So again, if they don't like it here, once you get to this part, we can go ahead and shrink it down and move it to the, pocket. We can put it on a part of the sleeve if we even wanted to. So once you get in here, you can really change it around and edit it. Same with the colors. If you want the colors to stick out more, you can obviously change these as well. Anything like that, you can edit. Again, here's all your information, your logo, your phone number, email, website, address. So this is where it's important, where you definitely fill this out, because you want your customer to be able to contact you and give your contact out to other friends so you can grow your business. And again, up here is the Rhinestone World. If you want this a little bigger, you can change it around. You can, really make it your own. All right. So Linda, do you have any questions or anything about this mock-up or anything like that? Good. It will give them the description here of the dimensions. If you want to change the name. All right, so you tried to change the price but couldn't. So were you just in here and you were trying to type and that wasn't working? Yeah. Okay, you do have to double click, so that might be the reason, but it should allow you to edit everything. Again, if it's not, just go ahead and give us a call again, and we'll make sure we get this fixed for you. But we already got the advanced feature marked down, so we'll make sure that's corrected to the next release. But shirt color, you can edit everything here. Okay, double clicked worked. All right, so yeah, if you're just clicking once, sometimes it's not gonna, because it is a text, you kind of have to double click to let it know that you want to retype something. So if you don't like those lines or anything like that, you can get rid of those by double clicking and highlighting everything, so it looks a little cleaner when it's just, just the text, where you don't have these lines. You can do it like this, quantity discount. You can, we usually do something where if they get, 5 or more, you can give them 10% off, stuff like that. So you can edit everything in here, design name, and that can actually be up here too. So any of this can be changed, the background up here, any of these colors. Awesome. Thanks. Alrighty. So yeah. Again, just your watermark is going to come over on the text. These can be moved. So I know we had a question earlier if they wanted the watermark on the shirt too. You always can just drag over the top watermark on the one design and copy it and move it to the second. So now you do have the watermark twice, but you're not going to just be able to put that yourself. You're going to have to manually do it right now. But you can always just copy a watermark and place it on another design. All right, so does anyone have any questions about the proof sheet? That's good. Awesome. Okay. So we got a couple mock-ups down here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete these ones. So let's go ahead and move on to one more real quick. This is going to be the order form. So again, it's the same setup. We'll do shirt front, men's, we'll change it to women's. Make sure there's no overlapping. V-neck, front, go ahead and save. Choose our design, save. Go ahead and create the mockup. Alright, so didn't add one here because I didn't choose a back shirt. If you have a if you have a design that has a back, you can put that there as well. If not, like I said, you can edit all this so you can see it. This is, you know, a pretty nice display or order form for them. Everything in here is also, you can edit. So again, you have your size, quantity over here, your total. If you zoom in, you can see, you know, little descriptions that you can always edit for your own business. Very cool and catchy shirt sale here. So again, all this can be changed. You definitely will probably want to change this before you send it to a customer. You'll keep your logo, order deadline. So this is always nice. You know, it'll even let you know when you have to have the order ready. And then everything in here can be changed as well. So if you don't like the placement on the shirt, we can change that. You know, since it's so many stones, we're going to make this shirt $40. We can change that. We can even change any of these color backgrounds. So if we want, you know, to stand out just a little more, you can change the color. They're going to know this is the front. So you can delete that if you don't want it. Here's some more information down here that's from the description. So again, this is, you know, this is where it really can't be. You can always, if you don't have a description, you can go back and change all this. But, you know, when you're sending out a couple of these a day, it's really going to be a time saver if you go ahead and just make your own description. Right. And then here's some information about your customer, business organization, contact number, name, and email, and how they paid. So does anyone have any questions about the order form 1? Looks like we're good. All right. And again, you know, if you go to advanced, it's going to give you another drop down, but a lot of these are just can be changed manually in the basic, and you can even do the color scheme, you know, whatever you'd like, whatever you think looks best. If your company has certain colors, you know, you can always use that. If you do have certain colors that you want saved, the advanced is nice because it will save it for you. So you can go ahead and do that. But otherwise, you know, like I said, I usually change everything once I'm done. I like to see how it looks with the design I'm working with the shirt. So everything. Yes, Shelby, actually it should already be added. If you look on this little right drop down, Shelby was asking if the FDC glitter was going to work, and yes it will. So you'll see all that here. So if you want your shirt or, you know, any of your vinyl to be one of these colors, once you click on it, you can just drop down to FDC and change it to that color. So all these colors are preloaded on here too. So, you know, if you're working with vinyl designs and you want to show them how it will look in magic glitter, you can go ahead and choose that too. I know I'm putting it on a shirt right now, but they'll be able to see the design with that. We have the neon colors. You know, anything like that you can also change around. You don't have to use the flat colors with the vector designs or the shirts, you know. And then we also have our fashion, electric, strip flock, and the FDC is now added into this as well. So with this drop down, you can use any of these colors. If you are using stones with us, you'll want to use the stone colors provided from this palette or from the drop down. It doesn't always work if you choose a drop down from here or the color palette to the right. All All right, so we're right around 4:45. Is there any more questions I can answer for you guys before we call it a day? All right, looks like we're good. Well, thank you for sticking through me, even though we had that little mishap through the middle. Again, if you're having any problems with any of these mock-ups, feel free to give us a call at 941-755-1696 or shoot us an email at info@therhinestoneworld.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. I will mention the advanced settings, but for now, if you're having trouble with the watermark using advanced, go ahead and use basic, and the watermark should work fine, and then you can go ahead and edit all your colors after. All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer. It was a pleasure having everyone here. My name is Sean, and you guys have a great and safe weekend.